All right, that was just a little piece, little melody, a little bit of solo on Beautiful Love. Just to say that those lines that I'm playing there, they come from a lot of different exercises and little different studies here and there of, transcribing and listening to those people and, playing with people and sort of, working things out. But also, the exercises that I'm going to show today are very helpful too on things like this. So let's start with something that's a lot of people know. Okay, let's do what we call broken thirds. Okay, and we'll do it in F. And broken thirds are basically where you start on the one, go up to the third, start on the two, go up to its third, go to the third, go to its third, and so on and so on. Let's try that. So check it out. That's one octave. We'll keep going. Whole thing without stopping. Let's descend. Same thing, down a third, up to the next note, down a third. Do that one more time. It's a shift, it's sort of just one shift, really. Good. That's a good one, all right? Broken thirds. Everybody should know that. Everybody should practice that. And it's not about playing the exercise and you're going to run and play that exercise. It's about what do you do with that, Now I was trying to play those more, but you understand that's where things come from. Listen, when you walk through the halls of a classical conservatory, or more classical anyways, like New England Conservatory in Boston, which I've done a few times, you hear these people, all these different instruments, just practicing that and practicing all these different exercises. So And again, it's not about the exercises so much, so to speak. It's about where it takes you, what it helps you do. Like I always think about a Bach piece that I like. It's actually the Invention number 1 in C major, and the bass part. There's a part that it does this. That's all broken thirds, sort of. I mean, it might not be all that, but there you go. And again, that takes, playing something like that, that has broken thirds like that. The broken third exercise just sort of helps you get there to where something like that makes a lot of sense. But now, when you're actually playing something that's, a piece, music, instead of just an exercise, it sounds like music, even though, those are broken thirds, right? Kind of thing, right? Good. So the broken thirds is a good exercise to do, okay? Let's do another one. Let's not do broken thirds, but let's do it. Let's do it in notes of 3. Like we'll go up 3. We'll start on the 1. We'll go up 3, and then we'll go to the 2, and we'll go up 3, go to the 3. So it's like this. I got a little bit creative there at the end, but let me do that one more time. Descend with notes of 3. I'll go up and I'll come down. That's a good one to do. Get it sort of in your, what you're looking for is to know what it sounds like, to know where your fingers are, what's the best, position or pattern that your fingers can do to, to execute the line, and there's no, perfect exact way to do it. Probably the way I'm doing it is probably the easiest way to do it, because, or the optimum way to do it, you might say. Okay, good. Let's do another one. These are a little bit more, maybe a little bit more difficult, you might say. This one, what we're going to do is we're going to arpeggiate the chords up and the next chord in the scale down, descend down. So it's like this. Let's do this in F as well. So it's like 1, 3, 5, 7, and then you descend the G minor starting on the 7. B, B, D, boo. So it's like this. And it depends where you want to shift. I mean, you could shift, you don't have to shift at all, actually. Until you got to the very end. But sometimes it feels, well, I just do it naturally. I don't know if it's better or worse. Maybe it's just easier for me. But on the dominant chord, I shift up. So it's like, so I did the shift here. You don't have to do that. You can do it from here. The difference is you don't cross as many strings when you're doing that, which is nothing really here or there. Okay. Here's the thing. You kind of have 4 different ways to do this exercise. Same thing, really. That was starting on the root and then descending on the 2nd, going to the 3rd, ascending, descending on the 4th, ascending on the 5th, descending on the 6th, descending on the 7th, and descending on the 1 again. You could do it the opposite way, if that's a word in music, retrograde or whatever. You could start by descending the F major from the 7 and then go to the G minor from the root up. So that's like this. Let me do that again. So I'm starting from, instead of going, I'm going ba ba da ba. So I'm just descending it, and then ascending to the next one. So it mixes things up a little bit. So it's like. You could also do it descending. You could do it first by starting on the root and going up going down to the next chord and going down, descending. So it's like this. So basically what you're sort of wrapping your ears and your head around is the sound of the chords in the key itself. You know, it's like, you know, or even right? Let me do that one more time. Still starting from the F up here. Now you could do it opposite, or what you would call that, from up here as well. We can start on the 7, descending from the 7 on the 1. So it ends up being like this. So it changes things around. You're ascending ones that you descended in the last one, and vice versa. So let me do that one again. Good, excellent exercise. Here's another one that's very similar to that, but using the modes instead of the arpeggiating the chords. And so what we're going to do this time is we're going to ascend the first scale and then descend the next scale in the key. So you're going to ascend F major, descend G Dorian, ascend A Phrygian, descend B flat Lydian, ascend C mixo, descend D minor, ascend E Locrian, descend F major. So like this. Check it out. Time. So ascending the F, descending the Dorian, descending the major, descending the Dorian, ascending the Phrygian, descending the Lydian, ascending the mixo, descending the Aeolian, ascending the Locrian, descending the major. We sort of try to end an exercise but like yearning the musical piece. Now you can flip that around, right? You can flip that around. We could start by descending the major scale and ascending the Dorian, descending the Phrygian, ascending the Lydian. So it's like this now. This time we're starting by descending. Now, we could do the same thing, but we could start up in the higher register, right? So let's say that we started by descending. Well, let's do it different than we just did it. We'll start by ascending the F and descending the Locrian. So it's like. Flip that one around as well. We could start by descending the F from up here. So it's going to be, and then ascending the Locrian. So. you have to be careful for is the shift, usually from the mixo to the Lydian, or the Lydian to the mixo, because your hands, you might think your hands are just sitting in the right place to get that line, but they're not. So like like what I just did. So here's where I shifted. Here's the minor. Here's the mixo. So I moved down to the B flat there and did the Lydian. Right. That's a couple good, exercises, right? To kind of just, again, to get it in your ear, to get it under your fingers, to know what's happening, know that you're playing the major to the Locrian, to the Phrygian, to the Lydian, to the mixo, to the minor, to the Locrian. Know that that's happening. Know it's, when you're doing the ones with the arpeggios, knowing it's 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7, 4 major 7, 5 dominant, 6 minor 7, 7 minor 7 flat 5. To understand that, to hear it. So basically, again, you want to get it in your ears, you want to get it around your fingers. You also want to get somewhat of a visual recognition as well, because that sometimes helps, whether you're going to shift a certain place or not, just to sort of see, the fretboard. Like Gary Willis says, you should be able to see the key on your bass. See the key on your bass. Now, we can't go anywhere without doing some some pentatonic stuff, right? Okay, pentatonics are the greatest, right? Pentatonics, right? Everybody loves pentatonics. Play a lot of pentatonics. So let's do this. Let's do one of the Bergonzi patterns, okay? Let's do an ascending one, okay? Now, I call them Bergonzi patterns because I got them out of a Bergonzi book that's about pentatonics. Good stuff, you could really use it, I mean, it's fun stuff. So we're gonna kind of go into like this sub-language for a second, a little while, okay? Which means this. We're dealing with just a pentatonic scale. C minor pentatonic is, a lot of places to play the C minor pentatonic, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this pentatonic, which is 5 notes, and we're going to look at each of those notes in the pentatonic as a step. Now, they're not a step, okay? They're not a step. This is not a step, but here we're calling it a step because it's a pentatonic scale, and we're saying this is a step, that's a step, that's a step, that's a step, that's a step, okay? So, the patterns are, like here's the pattern on something like this. So that means those are the steps. That means if you skip over one of the notes and go to a note that's above it, that's going to be a step, or below it. That's going to be a step. Excuse me, that's going to be, my bad. That's going to be a skip. So the first pattern might look at, today anyways, is up a skip, up a step, down a skip. So that's the pattern. That's the pattern the whole way up. It's not the same finger pattern, when I'm saying patterns and shapes, I'm never really talking about finger shapes. I know that a lot of tutorials might do that, but I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about, melodic shapes. So if we're starting on so the way you do it is this. You start with the 1 and you go up. There's your shape. And then the next one you're going to do is from the next note up. So you can look at it you're starting at from the next note up that you ended on, a step up from the note that you're ending on. Or you could think about it sort of the way I do, is you're going up a skip from where you started. It doesn't matter which way you think about it, whatever makes sense. But so here's the pattern. Up a skip, up a step, down a skip. Then you go to the next one. Then up a skip, up a step, down a skip. So it's like, it ends up being like this. Let me do that one more time. Right. We could start it here if we wanted to. You could start it down on the low C. You can go as far as you want to. So that's the pattern. Up a skip, up a step, down a skip. And starting the next one from a step up from where you ended, that's probably the easiest way to look at it, or a skip up from where you started. You'll listen to it. Let's say we do the same thing, but descending, right? And so the way so a good way to practice these is to not always start on the 1. Start on, let's say, the 4. So if we start on the 4, you got to remember that's the box shape. You start the pentatonic on the 4. That's the box shape. So you have this, which means you're going to have 2 shapes back to back that are the same. So if we start here, it's going to be now like this. Let me do that one more time. Right. Let's come down. So what I want to get at there is start it from all the shapes. Start from all the from the scale degrees of the pentatonic. I started on the 1, that was a 4. You could start on the flat 7, Right? Okay. So go through all of them. The patterns aren't going to change on your fingers, so to speak. It's still going to be the same no matter where you start. But it gives you a different view, a different, way things sound. It's not always going to sound like this. If you start here, it's a different sound, right? So descending, we're going to look at the same pattern, but descending. So instead of going up a skip, we're going to go down a skip. So if we start on the C up here, we're going to go down a skip, down a step, and up a skip. So that's the same thing as, but descending now. Down a skip, down a step, up a skip. So check this out. how you end it. But my shift was here. My shift was here. If you want to go all the way down to the 3 octaves like that, my shift is here. With my 3rd finger there, so it's and then box, box, so again, it was down a skip, down a step, up a skip, and then again, just like the last one, we started from a step away from, a step up from what we ended on. This we start a step, step down what we ended on. So it's like this. That's a step down from the B flat. So now it's kind of thing, right? And again, you start these all from different scale degrees. Let's say we were started from the flat 7. It's going to be a little bit different shifts, but again, down a skip, down a step, up a skip, but from the B flat now. So it's you get creative how to end it. You know, it's not an exact way to end it. And let me do that one again from the 5. Or, excuse me, from the flat 7. What if you did it from the 5? Let's do one from the 5. Check this shift. Now you don't have to do that. You could do it like this. Sorry. But that's not going to get you all the way down here. But that's going to be, you know, again, it's not about playing this line 3 octaves. That's not like, oh man, I can play this line 3 octaves. It's how this helps you get around on your bass, how you hear those type of lines, and sort of where you can put those lines in, what it makes sense over certain chords and things like that. So if I was to start on the 5th, I might do this. If I'm going down low, it's like then let me do that one again. So let me do it one more time. Or that's from the 5th. And so you do it from all of them, you know, from all of them. From flat 7, from the root. We did the root, the flat 7 to the 5th. The 3rd and the 4th, or the from the 4th, it's again, the 4th is always in the box shape, right? Which is a friend to bass players, right? But if you started it there, then it's just kind of thing. That's on. So that's on what we did the root, flat 7, the 5th. We did the 4th. We might as well do the flat 3 as well. So if we do the flat 3, then we're going to start way up here. Now I have a jazz bass. Well, it's a jazz bass with 20 frets, right? Old school. E flat's the last one. So, you know, doing this, is not so easy, right? And so especially if I'm going to go down lower, and I mean my thumb is flipped over like this to compensate for that, which is fine. But I'm probably not going to stay down there. Guys and girls with 2-octave basses, like you go up to 24 frets, so you have that's easier on your hands. That's not such a big deal, and you can go higher as well. But just from this basis standpoint of view, we can do it like this, and then check it out. So the shift is, and if we want to, we can go. Again, let me do that just one more time. And you don't have to start all the way up here, but it's kind of fun, right? So it's like, and then, okay, so those are all good exercises. You notice sometimes you'll hear me singing with my lines. That's not something that has to be done, but I think that when I do that, maybe I sound a little bit more musical. I don't know, but it also, you start to be able to hear things and singing with it, and it's like, okay, you start to be able to, just, even it's like your voice, your ear syncs up with the lines you're playing on the bass. That's not the end all be all to everything, but I think sometimes it might add to you really sort of getting these down, and and if you're still learning the notes on the bass, you could actually sing it and say the notes, right? Now you can't do that all the time because you can't do it very quickly. I can't, anyways. But what you're doing is you're actually trying to get a visual recognition of the note before you sing it, before you say the name, so you sort of know what it is. Because I think most students, myself included, it's you could easily memorize, C D E F G A B C A. Sorry, C D E F G A B C. You can memorize that, okay? But what you don't want to do is just memorize it. You want to see it on your bass and recognize it when you're doing it. So if you're doing like a major scale, it's like C. Sorry about that. C D E F G. Now I'm adjusting my octave because I can't sing falsetto. When I can, but it's like no one's gonna like it. But it's like C D E F G A B C D E F G A B C C B A G F E D C B A G F E D C. You can do the same thing with C A G B G B C C E G B G E C. Like I said, you can't do it all the time. I mean, it doesn't make sense to do it all the time, but you could do that a little bit if you're sort of in the stages of really starting to learn your instrument, starting to learn the notes on the bass. Okay, we'll call it for today, and thank you very much. Take care, stay safe, talk to you soon.